Yo, yo, yo.
What's happening, fam?
What's poppin', people? How
Randy
we
whipped us
darn?
up to.
How we darn? How we darn? How we darn?
Oh,
What's up, Josh? What's up, Ravers? What's up, Jamar? What's up, Non-Off? The beat's kind of fire. That's right, brother. Comment down below if you're hanging out with us today. Let's see who is in the chat. We're about to do a rookie draft here. We have a Dynasty real draft that is happening tomorrow. So it's good
Jonah.
vibes.
That's the bitch just talked. Ravers, Nathan, what's happening?
Patch that bitch like start. Yeah, gonna be a good day today here on the stream. Obviously doing a rookie draft like we just discussed. And excited to do the Dynasty draft tomorrow. Jamar saying getting hot in the Golf Gang League. Yes, it did. Trade went down. Got people heated. Some people got heated. Little rivalries already forming over there.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit.
If you are in the hotel league, we have good news for you. We're waiting on one more deposit, but it looks like that league is full.
That's right.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes, that league is full. So we're waiting on some deposits, and then we will send out invites here today or tomorrow. So your league is full.
That's awesome.
What's up, TD?
That's awesome for the people.
What's up, Nathan?
Hotel.
No vacancies.
Yeah. Vacancies.
No vacancies.
That's funny.
Yeah. It's all fun, Jamar, for sure. Badaki, have you joined this one? Are you going to join this draft today?
You know what? I'll sit this one out, but we are doing a redraft right after this live stream. So if you want to join our redraft mock draft, that's also on our Fantasyland, our redraft channel, Fantasyland. So definitely go check that out. I'll join the redraft one instead of this one. I'll try to keep an eye on the chat today again. So Leonardo, what's happening, brother?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's Gucci, y'all? What's Gucci? As you welcome yourself in, as we welcome you in, do us a favor and drop a like. Next would be India, I believe, right? Isn't that the next on the NATO alphabet?
India. That's
next
right.
is the India League.
Next one's Igloo.
Igloo, imagine.
That's funny.
Igloo is actually probably a funner name. Is that a word? No, probably not.
A funner. Niner golf. Force 2 to force later.
All right. Badaki has the invite here. I'll let you send that out. Now, if you guys want to join today's draft, join our Discord with the link that is in the description. I will also paste it here in the chat. But basically join our Discord, and then we will send the link to join in the Dynasty Mock Drafts text channel. And then it's a free-for-all. It's really a free-for-all at that point.
It is a free-for-all. So once again, join our Discord, Dynasty Damn It, Dynasty Mock Drafts tab. I put that in the chat right here, right now. 3, 2, 1.
All right.
It's out now. What's
So
up, Brandon? Scott El Tigre. I'm gonna hold on for the redraft. That's what's up.
Love that from El Tigre. What's up, Brandon? How you doing, brother? Josh, I can't really see your comments, unfortunately, because the pinned chat, it looks like it's blocking. It says I traded, okay, I can see it. It says I traded Deshaun Watson and received Zach Wilson 23 first in a 2022 304. I couldn't really tell you how that trade's going to pan out just yet, to be honest. I mean, I think we're going to have to wait a while to really see who wins that one. What about you?
It's hard because I can't read the trade on my screen either. So
second trade, it says I traded Madison for a 204 in a 23 second round. That's a huge win. No way Madison should be worth that much. So I do like that second trade for you.
Yeah.
What's up, Fabian? What's up, Scott?
What's happening, y'all?
All right, so we are full here. Let's go ahead and start this. 2 minutes on the clock. You can feel free to take as much time as you want. You can go as quickly as you like. Either way, it's all goods in the hoods. Let's go ahead and start this bad boy with JJ Ballin.
Cole
at the 101. There goes Breece Hall. No surprise. Breece Hall goes at the 101. I don't think anyone else should be considered at the 101 personally. What about you, Badaki? Is there anyone that you could
Drake.
consider at the 101?
Nah, it's Brees. It's Brees all the way.
Okay.
Consensus 101, I think, throughout the fantasy community.
Yes, it is Superflex, Scott. What's up, Aldees? What's up, Cole?
What's happening? Drake London, Treylon Burks, Williams.
Yes.
And now
I need to actually bring up my rankings.
The clock.
Let me bring up my Superflex rankings here. Okay, so Treylon's gone. Drake London is gone. I mean, this feels like... Okay, can anyone explain to me why it's Ken Walker? Did Kenneth Walker ask Sleeper to change it from Kenneth?
No idea.
Why is it Ken Walker right now on Sleeper? It's so strange to me. Unless Kenneth Walker actually asked for his name to be changed to Ken Walker on Sleeper. Yeah, for me, running back scarcity, I'll say it again. I feel like there's only 2 running backs that are workhorses in this class, and that is Kenneth Walker and Breece Hall. So for me, I'm happy to take Breece Hall or Kenneth Walker here at the 1.5. In my Superflex rankings, I actually have him ranked as he's tied in that tier 2, but he's my 104. So I feel pretty comfortable with Breece Hall here at the 105. I'm definitely not against Burks. I'm not against Jameson. I think those are both great picks. And by the way, with the Treylon Burks thing, people keep talking about him being out of shape. And I think it has a lot to do with the video that was released with his hands on his hips. I just want to bring you guys some context there that might be very important for all those people who are switching up so quick. The context is that it was the hottest day in Nashville since 1902. Okay? I want you to go outside in the hottest day in Nashville in over a century and work out for an NFL team and tell me that you're not going to be losing some breath. I am not worried about Treylon Burks at all. He doesn't worry me one bit. Still love the talent. I like his situation. I like the target share that he's gonna find himself in. There goes Kenny Pickett at the 106. Can't disagree with the talent around him. Yeah,
Kenny Pickett, he's my 102, no doubt about it. One thing I wanted to say about Ken Walker is that my thought process, my tune has kind of changed on him a little bit. I think what I'm thinking now is that
Hey, if that is the cool dude who signed up on Patreon, make sure you check your Patreon messages. We're gonna hook you up with with everything that is involved in your membership. So
on Kenneth Walker or Ken Walker.
Okay.
I kind of changed my thought process on him just because of how much I value these wide receivers. And I think when it comes down to it, when I'm actually drafting, I think I'm going to be taking all the wide receivers, which is Wilson, London, Burks, Olave, Moore, and Williams over Kenneth Walker. Just because I'm okay with trying to get a James Cook in the second round or trying to get a Dameon Pierce, even if it's for the 1 year, if I have the draft capital in the 2023 draft class. Because I don't want to spend such a high draft pick on Kenneth Walker when, if I do have the draft capital, I'm hoping to bank on a Bijan next year. I'm hoping to bank on one of these guys.
So you're hoping to get the 101?
I'm not hoping to get the 101. I mean,
right now, if you're saying you're banking on Bijan, then you have to get the 101 probably next year.
Okay, let me rephrase it then, because if it's going to be the 101, I'm banking to have a good draft capital in the 2023 draft class, because the running back room, in my opinion, from what we're hearing, what we know, even though it's still early, is better than what we have here right now.
Sure. We have to keep in mind that this time last year, Sam Howell was the #1 pick in everyone's mock drafts. So, things change, injuries happen.
100%.
But for me, Kenneth Walker and James Cook are on 2 completely different tiers. So if I need a running back, I don't want to try and get James Cook later. I'm not anti James Cook, but I mean, even they came out and said how they wanted to use him, which is exactly what I thought, which is the J.D. McKissick role that they had planned for J.D. McKissick. They literally came out and said he's a great spellback and that they planned on using him in like 3rd down situations. So I think James Cook, great 2nd round pick. I don't disagree, but if I need a running back, I'm not anti Kenneth Walker. I agree to an extent, like Drake London and Treylon.
I'm not anti Kenneth Walker either.
Okay. I agree to an extent. I think Drake London and Treylon Burks are both wide receivers I'm taking over ahead of Kenneth Walker, but I think Kenneth Walker I would take him over the rest of those wide receivers. And, we're talking about a landing spot where I think if you look at like the last 10 years, Seattle is top 5 in rushing attempts. So he's going to get enough work for sure. That's been their identity. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we can say, like, if you need a running back, you don't really know if James Cook is going to fall to you. So.
No, you don't.
And you don't really know what the class will look like next year. So.
Yeah, you don't. I think I would rather take that chance moving into next year than passing up of such good value, especially where not value, but landing spots where these wide receivers have gone, in my opinion. This is not an anti Kenneth Walker take. This is more of like, I just wanted to give the community what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Because maybe they do have that draft capital for next year. Maybe there's a lot of people that have, 2 first round picks or 3 first round picks, or maybe just 1, and they're hoping to get that running back. That's just a thought process. But you're on the clock here.
Yeah, I would just say, like, again, like, you can't really. We have no idea what's going to happen next year. No one will know where their draft picks are going to be, and we don't know where these players will get drafted. So it's just kind of hard to predict that far in advance.
For sure.
Yeah, so Leonardo says, why is Pickett your 102? I think he's asking you that, Badaki, because he's not my 102.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't. My bad. I thought you were going to have this whole spiel about who you're going to pick. But yeah, I can answer that question unless you want to do your pick first.
Yeah, let me look at the board. Let me see who's available here. Alec Pierce just went. I'm going to go, I think I might go John Mechie here. I'm going to take John Mechie here at the 205. I think he fits really, really well into this offense. I think he complements Cooks and Brevin Jordan. They got more help for the offensive line for Davis Mills, so I feel pretty comfortable with Mechie there.
Yeah, Leonardo. So for me, Kenny Pickett, my 102. I think this is super flex league. The thought process is that, I believe in Kenny Pickett. I believe in his talent. I love the landing spot, especially with everything that he has done to get to this point. Kind of saw him do that in Pitt, and now he's staying in Pittsburgh and playing for the Steelers. And I think it's just. It sounds crazy, but it feels like there's no way that he can fail, especially with this landing spot. Mike Tomlin as a head coach. You have Najee Harris, you have Pat the Dragon, Deontay Johnson, Claypool, George Pickens. I mean, this kid is set up for success. The only way he can really fail if he fails, if he messes up. And I think that there's a chance, no doubt about it. But I think the chances, in my eyes, are really slim. And I think, especially in the Superflex League, I want the longevity. This guy can play for 10 years, just like any of these wide receivers, for sure. But, in the Superflex League, where the quarterbacks are kind of scarce, and if you don't have the draft capital for next year, and if you don't have that 23 first, then maybe Kenny Pickett is the guy. But for me, I just believe in the talent. I believe in how he performed, and I just love the landing spot. It's too good of a landing spot to pass up. And all these wide receivers is just as talented, or maybe could be more valuable depending on how you see it. But in the Superflex League, I think in one of the best, clearly the best quarterback in the draft, according to all these NFL teams, because he was the only quarterback that went in the first. I think that says a lot for who they believe Kenny Pickett is.
Yeah, I like Kenny Pickett.
The board's going crazy here. James Cook in the first, George Pickens 112. Then you got Isaiah Spill at the 2-3, Alec Pierce, John Mechie, David Bell, and then you have the quarterbacks: Desmond, Malik, Dameon Pierce, Tyler Algier, Matt Corral, Jalen Tolbert, and then Wan'Dale Robinson. Jalen Tolbert goes at the 212, which is a lot later than I expected him to go.
That's where he's been going.
I feel like he's been going like not a lot later, but 209. 208. I feel like he's been going, but I could be wrong. And then Wan'Dale Robinson at the 3-1 for us.
Yeah. Scott says, where would you put Cortland Sutton against this rookie class? I think 111 is where I would want, you know, if I want to go grab Cortland Sutton, I'm comfortable sitting like the 111 and above. Outside of that, I'd like to take a shot on one of these rookie wide receivers, and I feel like that's kind of where it splits a little bit.
Yeah, I agree on that.
Fabian says, use the fantasy hotline to talk about the 102 on Kenneth Walker or a wide receiver. Had a very young running back heavy team, so ended up going London over Burks and Kenneth Walker. I think that makes sense for sure.
Absolutely. I'll take it. I mentioned the trade to y'all on Discord, but through a series of trades, I flipped the 1-2, which was Walker, and the 23 third and James Robinson for 23 first and for 23 first, Corral and Shakira. Actually, I don't mind that. And I think that kind of speaks to what I was just talking about, you know, like not saying that Kenneth Walker is not talented to take the workload, but maybe you're hoping to get one of these better running back prospects that we believe is going to be in this class.
I mean, but in his scenario, he's already got running backs is what I think is what he's saying.
No, I know. Lakers, what's happening? It's been a minute.
What's up, Lakers?
Kenny Pickett feels very Kirk Cousins to me in a good and bad way. I can definitely see how that happens. They're different in how they play, and they just both have limited ceilings but decent floors. Yeah, that can definitely be it. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens this season, and if he even is going to start, which I do believe he will start this year. Lakers, Elijah Mitchell in a 203 for the 107. Okay, so 107 here. Garrett Wilson. Gonna have Chris Olave, Sky Moore, and the 203, which was Isaiah Spiller.
Yeah, that's tough.
It is tough. It is tough because I think the thought process with Elijah Mitchell is that we don't really know what's happening. We don't know what that backfield is gonna look like. So do you take the chance and say, you know what, that's gonna be a committee, and get one of these top wide receivers? Or you hold on to Elijah Mitchell? That's a tough one. That's really, really tough.
I think I would go the 107 personally.
So 107, Garrett Wilson.
I like the wide receivers that are there for me. Now, if you need running backs, then no, you wouldn't make that trade. You would keep Elijah Mitchell if you do need running backs, you know.
Yeah.
All right, so here I am.
I think I'll keep the 107. I'll go with the 107. Sorry, you're on the clock.
So here I am on the clock. A lot of different ways that I can go here. But I'm going to take a shot on Romeo Doubs again.
Nice.
I like Romeo Doubs. This is probably a Klondike. Thanks for the sub, brother.
What you do for Klondike?
This is probably a long-term play there with Dobbs, but I'll take a shot on him. He'll be on my taxi squad.
Yep.
El Tigre says Pickett is going to be top 10 in 2 years. Rappin' Dog, yes, we did see the trade in the golf league. Josh says traded Aaron Jones and Carson Wentz for Cortland Sutton in the 210. Aaron Jones and Carson Wentz for Sutton and the 210. I feel like there is probably more trade value on the Aaron Jones and Carson Wentz side, if I'm honest with you. I don't know what Badaki thinks, but I feel like there's more trade value on the Aaron Jones and Carson Wentz side.
I think, like, since Carson Wentz is his QB3, I'm interested. Maybe he was okay to take less value. Maybe for someone like a Cortland Sutton that's getting Russell Wilson, that now has Russell Wilson in the 210. I mean, the 210 here, Tyler Algier could be a Damian Pierce, a Jalen Tolbert. It's a bit tough, but I do see how maybe you just want to get rid of Wentz, but I'm actually okay with Sutton in the 210.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that. If that is true, if you just was trying to get rid of Wentz and just get some value, I think that's okay. And Aaron Jones, I mean, who knows what happens with Aaron Rodgers if he does retire? I think that really hurts his value tremendously after this year.
Sure. Kyle says, I like me getting Pickett in the 106 if he's going to be Cousins. Yeah, I think Cousins is a great fantasy asset. He has been for quite some time. So Steelers are very good talent evaluators. You're right there, TD. I agree.
Yep.
Hey, guys, 58 people watching the stream. If you have yet to do so, show some love and drop a like.
You like that? You like that?
Speaking of Kirk Cousins, do what your boy Cousins would do. He likes that.
Brian Robinson, Trey McBride, Shakira, Dubs, Taekwon, Zamir, Price, Ingram, Jelani, and now Fantasy Lord is on the clock. Who is taking this W tonight? Golden State or the Mavs? Is it the Mavs, right?
Yeah, I think so. And I don't know the answer, to be honest.
Who do you want? Who do you want to see in the finals? Do you know? Do you have anyone, or you kind of don't care anymore?
I'm not really a Warriors fan. I respect what they're doing. It's quite incredible that they're coming back after 2 years of irrelevancy. But I think I would prefer to see one of the East teams win, either the Heat or the Celtics, because I really like the players that are on both of those teams. But Luka is incredible, so it'd be cool to see him take the next step as well. Always like to see it's easier to root for emerging superstars rather than teams that you've already seen do it. But it would be pretty incredible if the Warriors were able to win another finals here.
Yeah.
For me, I think that would cement Steph Curry as one of the greatest players of all time. Like as far as like a top 10, I think he would be in the top 10.
If he wins this final, is that what you're
yeah?
saying?
Well, I mean that would be his 4th NBA final, wouldn't it? That would be his 4th championship, which is pretty incredible. I think it's 4. It might be 5. I don't know. I think it's 4 though.
Kyle said Golden State will overwhelm the Mavs. Could be very.
I think that's probably the most likely scenario.
Did they win the first game?
Well, the first game is going to happen today.
Oh, is that the first game tonight? Okay, never mind. I thought it was second game. Second game, the Heat already played.
The Heat played the Celtics yesterday, yeah.
Yeah, so that was the first game, right?
Yeah.
Right, okay. Thanks for the shout out. No worries, man. Thank you so much for subscribing, coming through, showing love. Thank you, man. We're doing a rookie. We're doing a PPR mock draft on our other channel right after this rookie mock draft is over. So make sure you stay tuned. We're going to be there right after this live. Make sure you, if you can, follow our channel. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. That would be awesome.
Yeah. Game 1 is in 30 minutes. Kyle is right. Luka will not go down without a fight. Josh says, thanks for your feedback. Wanted to cash in on Jones and Wentz while they still had some value. And my league is super down on Jones. Figured he has one more good year, and who knows with Wentz for sure.
Yeah.
I think the part of that trade that I don't think it's crazy to say that this is the best weapons Wentz has ever had in his career. And he was a quarterback 14 last year. So I just think like when I look at Aaron Jones and Cortland Sutton, I kind of value them almost similarly. And then with the 210 or Carson Wentz, I don't think you could find a quarterback like Carson Wentz for the 210. But, that's just my opinion. In the same time, Carson Wentz could be completely out of the league after this year. Like, this is his last shot. So there's a lot more risk maybe with the Carson Wentz side. So I can acknowledge that. I know I'm on the clock here. And what do I want to do? Is Taekwon still available? No, he went. It's harder for me to find my sleepers now.
It is tough now.
Is Shakira on the board?
Nah. I see somebody. on that list right there. 2, 4.
Technically, Bayless would be my next player.
Come on, baby. Take Bayless.
I hate that I'm doing that, but yeah, Bayless would be the next player on my rankings.
Sheesh. Jesse, how do you join a mock draft? Join our Discord. That should be in the description below, whether you're on phone or PC. Click the little arrow down or press more, and you should be able. The first thing that you see, it says join our Discord. That's what it says right there. Join here. Click on that, and that should take you to our Discord, and then go from there.
What's the link for the other channel? Oh, we'll paste the link for the other channel here. If you guys are interested in our redraft channel, I'll paste it there. All right, so Haskins off the board, Beatty, Kyron, Austin, Pierre Strong. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, but Aki, I don't know how you're feeling. In the spirit of being completely honest, I am extremely fatigued today.
Yeah.
I'm tired. So I don't know if I want to do another mock draft, but I would actually really love to just answer people's questions for, you know, the next 15 minutes rather than do another mock draft today. I don't know how you're feeling.
You know what?
But in the spirit of honesty, I'm just like really fatigued today.
Yeah. I'm down to do that because we do have another draft tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I'm down to do that, and then what we do is that we'll just pick it back up next week and make sure we do mock drafts.
Is everyone cool with that? We'll spend more time answering your questions in the chat. Are you guys cool with that? Are you happy with that? Is anyone extremely disappointed that we're not going to do a redraft mock? I don't want to disappoint anyone. Like I said, I'm very fatigued.
Yeah, we woke up early. At least it's early our time. I think we usually wake up like 7:30, 8 o'clock to start recording, and it's now 10:30. We've been doing this like crazy. But yeah, let us know if you want. We can answer any of your questions, and then we can pick it back up next week and do some redrafts.
Yeah.
Kyle said you guys always put in the work. Take your breaks, bro. Appreciate you.
I appreciate that.
Actually, let's just do that. We will put in the Discord. Make sure you join the Discord. If maybe the community wants to do a PPR mock draft, put that in there.
Yeah. I'll paste a link to the Discord here in the chat. But does anyone have any Dynasty related questions?
Yeah.
So what's Amari Cooper's value in a 14-man Superflex Dynasty? I definitely think that he is, you know, worthy of a first-round pick. I keep constantly saying, Badaki, that I think Amari Cooper is being underrated. I think in some, you know, formats we're seeing pretty much Amari Cooper and Sutton go the same spot. So like I said earlier, I feel like the 110 onwards, maybe the 111 onwards, I'm trying, if I'm a win now team, I'm probably trying to move for an Amari Cooper type talent, a Cortland Sutton.
Yeah, I think Amari Cooper is very interesting. So what's Amari Cooper value in a 14-man? Yeah, I mean, at the moment, I guess if you're training for picks, I would say early second in my opinion. I don't know if I want to do a first-round pick.
But if you're a win now team, I mean, you're not going to find anyone at the 111 and the 112 that's going to give you what Cooper will.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's a tough one, but I definitely do. All I can tell you is that I do love Amari Cooper. I'm in a 14-man league. I think that kind of switches it up because there's.
I would argue that makes Cooper more valuable.
Yeah, exactly. It makes it more valuable. So it's a little bit tough. Yeah, I agree. 110
of a rookie draft, Kyle. Definitely not startup. No, in a startup, Amari's probably going in in your format, probably in like the 6th round. Because there's more picks per round, but
yeah,
in a 12-man, probably the 7th or 8th. London or Burks? I have Burks, but I think London, they're literally back to back, and I don't think there's a wrong answer. I really don't.
Yeah,
I am not worried as well. I'm not worried about the Burks reports right now, guys. We are 4 months from the season. If you loved Burks before the draft and he just landed in one of the best situations and one report can come out talking about his fitness, I don't really know. Like, you got to have some conviction on players that you like. You can't be so wishy-washy.
100%.
So I'm not ready to stop my love for Burks because of one report of his conditioning.
Yeah, for me, it's definitely London. I get what Zach's saying about Burks. You know, they're back to back in my ranking as well. I think London has a better situation. I believe the people that are around him a lot better. The longevity of life could be better for London early on in his career, where Burks could be better in the longevity of his career. Maybe like the first 2 years for London feels a lot more comfortable than the first 2 years for Burks.
Yeah.
That's how I'm viewing it. Stephen Day, been listening in the shadows. You guys put in number one.
You guys
first.
put number one first, like us, is what he's saying. I appreciate that.
Yeah, all love, man. Appreciate you. Thank you so much, Kenny. Who's the RB2 for the Saints? Is it Ingram still to own with the Kamara situation? Absolutely.
Mark
Ingram is definitely a guy that you should own.
There's so much trust there. So if you have Kamara, look, it could be someone else, but I would bet on Mark Ingram. I wouldn't be like shocked if it was someone else, but I think it's Mark Ingram. So much trust there.
I agree. Caleb, where do you think Breece Hall will be ranked a year from now in Dynasty?
I love talking about this.
I know
I think he'll be the RB2.
Big thoughts.
I think he'll be the RB2 next year. It'll be JT and Breece Hall at the top.
Do you think he's gonna have like a Najee Harris type season? Because
he's not. He's well.
It's not that he's not.
I don't think the offense is all that much worse in New York than it was last year. It's just there's more experience. There's more reliability that Najee had in year one. I really do envision like 1,000 yards. I feel like you can lock that in. All purpose, I would feel around 1,200 yards. You could lock that in. And to me, I would say anywhere from 6 to 9 touchdowns. And we're probably looking at 15 to 18 touches a game at least. So for me, I think there's enough work there. Again, with the NFL consistently going to running back split backfields, if you look at players who have his talent, who are his age, which he's only 20 years old, and the workload in front of him, that list is very small. So, I know someone commented this on one of other streams saying the media is hyping up Breece. He's not an elite prospect. I disagree.
Sheesh.
He was the only prospect I saw in this class that I said he's the 101. No questions asked. And even when there was conversations around Malik, said, no, Breece is the 101. He is an elite prospect. So if you don't see Breece that way, then, maybe we might have to agree to disagree, and that's okay. But for me, I think he'll be the RB2 in Dynasty next year. Could implode because he's on the Jets, but
yeah, I think for me, to keep it safe, I think he will definitely be in that top tier with Najee, Javonte, the Swifts. I think we can comfortably say that he will. At least I feel comfortable saying he will be there in that group, and it's gonna be hard to decide which one you should draft.
Yeah,
that's my opinion.
I'm trying to make a planting a flag statement here,
for sure.
With
100%.
my take on Breece. So,
Olave or a random 23 first. I think that's pretty even. Doesn't matter where that is, in my opinion. Well, all the talks with this class. What do you think?
Yeah, what's hard for me with the Olave takes is I actually liked Olave better as a prospect than I did Garrett Wilson. And I also like his landing spot better than I do Garrett Wilson's. So it's really hard for me to let go of Olave. I will say with Landry coming to New Orleans, I don't know exactly how much that impacts his upside. I think it would impact his upside slightly. So I probably would lean the 23 first because, there's a lot of wide receivers I am obsessed with in that class.
Yeah,
with Butte, Smith and Jigba. I can think of Jordan Addison. And there's like 10 wide receivers that I think are talented enough to go in the first round of the real NFL draft. So I think I would lean the 23 first, but that's painful. I think, personally, as someone who loves Olave, I might not want to lose him, but I might have to, use my brain over my heart there.
Yeah, I think I'll probably do 23 first. I'm banking on that class. The talent there is just looks and feels tremendous from what everyone's talking about.
Steven says, do you guys ever use something like keep, trade, cut, or anything to assign values to players? So we try and, how do I say this? Some people use Keep, Trade, Cut and other trade calculator sites as their Bible. And that frustrates the hell out of me because there's so many trades that you can send me and say, look, this is even. And I look at it, I'm like, hell no, it's not even. What do you mean? There's no context here. Of course I wouldn't do this trade. But I don't think it's bad practice to at least put your trade into a calculator and see if the general consensus is that it's relatively even. But I don't live by it. And I also, Badaki, I don't like before I send a trade, go to a calculator and, let me make sure this is like I don't do that process. I think,
Yeah, 100%.
does this make sense for the other person? Do I want this player? Does it make sense for me? Am I comfortable with it? I'll send it, So I don't really live by keep, trade, cut, but I will say for our videos, sorry, I know I'm interrupting you, but
No.
for our videos, we do reference it because they do have the largest crowdsourcing information for any Dynasty site. So it is helpful to crowdsource for videos to gauge the current market. So yeah, it is a helpful tool.
Yeah, and one thing I was going to say is that, that's one of the reasons we create our rankings is to have our own gauge. Like we create our rankings and then we look at the community's rankings to see, hey, we don't look at it, but like we kind of gauge it, like, well, I'm a little bit higher than this person in the community, and then that's how we can kind of gauge it. But yeah, I think we don't use it as our Bible. We use it as a resource, but it's not an everyday resource that we do use.
Totally.
Hey Kyle, still think Hollywood Brown is way too low in rankings. He's young, playing now with the college QB and the best friend he just broke out. How is he not valued as a top 20-ish wide receiver?
Well, let me look at my rankings. Let me just double check what
So I can tell you right now.
I
can tell you right now that for me, it's not about that. Like I do believe in Hollywood, and I do believe he can be that guy. I am just skeptical on if he's going to be the long-term answer for this team in the long run. Are they going to re-sign him? Yeah. And I think I'm more cautious, and I want to prevent any. I don't want to put all my chips in one basket with Hollywood, because what if it is that 1-year deal? And they said, you know what, it actually didn't work out for him. Let's just move on, which I doubt that's going to be the case.
We talked about that. And just to clarify, like if let's think about how colossal of a fail it would be if that was the situation for the Cardinals. They just gave up a first-round pick, which this player is supposed to be a cheap contract that helps you extend a window or build a foundation. And if they gave up a first-round pick to have Hollywood Brown for 1 year, that will be the worst move probably in the history of their franchise. So I don't worry about his long-term security. I have no doubt that he will be there. Otherwise, it's the worst move they've made in decades. But I think the reason he's not top 20 for me, because he's my wide receiver 27, and I love him, and I'm saying he's a buy in our videos. There's a lot of rookies that I love, and it's really hard to place Hollywood over some of these other guys. I mean, Hollywood or Rashad, these are questions I'm asking myself. Hollywood or Bateman? Hollywood or Terry? Hollywood or Sky Moore? So I think 27 feels comfortable for me. I think anywhere ranking him wide receiver 24 to 27 feels comfortable.
We have a question on Twitch. I have the 111 in a 14 Superflex league. What am I missing about James Cook that makes him so good?
Come to the wrong. Well, Badaki likes James Cook.
I love James Cook.
I just view him as what they wanted J.D. McKissic to be. So I think he's going to be valuable in PPR for sure. He's going to have value. But does he have like top 12 upside as a running back? Hell no, not in my opinion. I don't even think he's going to get the majority of the workload. I think it's still going to be a split backfield.
I don't think he'll have top 12 upside, but I do believe his upside is great for a running back and where you can get him right now. I mean, if he does finish in a J.D. McKissic role, in J.D. McKissic's best year, I can't even think where he finished. I think he was top 20. Am I right? J.D. McKissic was top 20 when he kind of broke out, had that nice little run.
The context there, though, is that the quarterbacks that year were Alex Smith, who he had one leg, so he was dumping it off every single second. Dwayne Haskins, it was like dump off factory.
Yeah,
so
I believe that's his upside.
Well, I don't know, because I don't know that he gets that many targets. J.D. McKissic's situation was literally perfect, and I think he's going to be valuable, but they also have Josh Allen. This is a mobile quarterback. He's not really a dump-off guy, so that's what makes me a little bit more hesitant on giving that sort of upside. But I do think I think a top 30 finish is possible for him this year.
Yeah,
which is still very valuable.
I think where you can get him is good value. I mean, obviously, it really depends. Like here, he went at the 111 over, Damian Pierce, Rashad White, some of these guys. I think where the way the NFL is going, I believe he's going to be very valuable moving forward, especially if he's going to be that spell back. The guys is being passing those catches out of the backfield. I mean, if you're in a PPR league, then that is gold for you. That's my opinion. But maybe some people aren't as high as him as me, so that's okay.
Yeah, in a 12-man format, I still have him as a second-round pick, but in a 14-man, he should probably
I guess 14
be at the end of the first.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. Rapid Dog, where will Bijan Robinson be ranked when he comes into the NFL? I mean, at the moment he's 101. That's what everyone's thinking.
I think he means like in Dynasty running backs. I would say he's instantly a top 3 Dynasty running back. That's the talent that he has. Like the last person who's been drafted that was as talented as him is probably Jonathan Taylor and Saquon Barkley. But we'll see. I mean, who knows? That's just me projecting that the year that he's gonna have.
Yeah.
And, injuries can definitely change that.
Waddle or AJ Brown? For
I'm
me,
going Waddle.
For me, that's Waddle.
But they're literally back to back. I have Waddle 5, AJ 6, so it's not as if it's like a huge take.
David Bell or Alec Pierce? I think for me that would be David Bell. You probably Alec Pierce.
Would be Alec Pierce for me, yeah.
Klondike, single quarterback, half PPR, 10 players. Larger roster becomes a flex and IDP. I traded Devontae Adams for a first this year and next, and I traded a second next year, but I also got Josh Jacobs as well.
Is this all one trade?
That's what it says. Now I have the 107 and the 108. Any suggestions?
So one quarterback league. You don't go quarterback there, obviously. And I don't think there's going to be Kenneth Walker there, especially not in a one quarterback league. So, I mean, if Kenneth Walker's there, yeah, of course, but he's not going to be. So, you go with wide receivers back to back, in my opinion.
That's what I was saying. Wide receivers back to back. Olave, Sky Moore, Christian Watson, whatever that looks like for you. Yeah.
JT says, remember the Chase drop reports? Exactly.
Yeah.
Got to have conviction on a player. It sounds so dumb now, JT, doesn't it? Like talking about the Chase drop reports. But trades were made. People traded away Jamar Chase because of the drop reports.
If we knew, I think if that
it's ridiculous.
Those reports weren't there, Jamar Chase, at least in our league, Jamar Chase went in our home league, if I'm not mistaken. I think in some of our dynasty startups last year, I think he went in the 3rd or 4th round.
Yeah.
If I guarantee you those trades or those reports didn't come out, he would have been early second.
Maybe
early second. He would have been a whole round difference, and it would have felt like. It would have felt amazing.
We consistently said that he was an elite prospect, and that's why I think if you got to have your convictions on players. Don't let a report 4 months from the season stop you from drafting a player. You spend so much time and effort falling in love with these guys, and then one report comes out, and you're like, oh, I'm done. What's funny is the reports on Ryan Tannehill and Malik. One report comes out that Malik looks great. The other report comes out that Malik is struggling, and there's no way he starts year one. Don't put your... What did Tom Brady say? He said, I looked at the media. I just gave him the double birds. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
gave him a double bird.
Typically doesn't matter what these reports say right now.
Where was I? Drew, I'm concerned about London's lack of speed, and that really is back next year. Look, that's definitely a concern. I wasn't even high on Drake London coming into this year because I didn't like. I like the prospects. I like the Garrett Wilson, the Chris Olave, the Sky Moore's body better in the way they can fit into an offense. But with Drake London's landing spot, the way this team is moving forward, they drafted Kyle Pitts, they got Desmond Ridder. They're moving in the right direction, and I think they're one step ahead of someone like a Treylon Burks and the Titans, in my opinion. Because I do believe the Titans are going more to a rebuild now. I think no matter what he's going to be, he should be fantasy relevant. Even if Calvin does come back, which I truly don't believe, because he already said it before that he wanted to be traded. Yeah, I think I don't see a way really comes back next year, in my opinion. And even if London is slow, it don't matter. He's still my man can get up and get the ball.
I think it does matter. That I still have London right behind Burks, but
videos are up, by the way.
What I was gonna say is Ridley won't be on the team, but I would argue that his speed would have helped Drake London, and so I don't know. I definitely have worries about Drake London still, but the target share that he's going to get, it's hard to deny. Waddle or AJ? I think we said Waddle.
Yeah,
Um,
buy or sell Debo. I think we both said sell.
I would
think
be looking to sell him after
do have
the
a video.
contract gets figured out.
We do
Wait
have a
till the
video on
contract
Debo.
to get figured out first.
Kenny Bateman, Waddle, and a 23-second for Pittman. I think I'm
Bateman.
keeping Bateman. Yeah. Will Trey Lance take over? I have Watson and Lance. The expectation that he has to.
Yeah.
They had
You have
all
to
that
give him
draft
a shot.
capital. You have to give him the shot. Rapid Dog, rank some of the 23 wide receivers. I'll be honest with you. I don't know too much of not any of these guys. Like I know Njigba, I know Addison. I don't know Downs, Mims, or Boutte.
Boutte, yeah.
At the moment. So I can't really give you that right now.
Yeah, I'm
I think
all in
Njigba
on-
is the guy for sure.
I would
know
actually
who
have
that is.
Boutte as my wide receiver 1. Boutte out of LSU would be my 1. And look, this will change so much throughout the offseason, but I'm so excited to watch all these guys. We'll see if Addison, do you think he goes to USC or does he go to Texas? I don't know. We'll see what happens, but
I know
for
Addison
me-
played with Kenny Pickett, right? What
Yes.
if Addison, they trade away Deontay and they get Addison and they're back together?
I don't. We'll see. Maybe they just
That-
draft
that's
their
a
wide
trend.
receiver.
That's a trend now, by the way. I mean, that's so important for a lot of teams. I feel like we've seen this. Anyways, I'm not saying that's gonna happen anyway.
I would have Boutte 1, Smith and Jigba 2, Addison 3, and then I don't actually think that Downs is in that conversation. I think he's a first round pick, but I do worry about his size. So we'll see. But then I would go Downs and Mims. No running back Klondike. Yeah, we wouldn't do that. El Tigre say Walker is the best player. I have a conviction on him. Genuinely think he could outplay Hall by a mile. I respect the take. We don't agree, but we respect it. Brandon says, where do you guys have Diggs and London ranked in your Dynasty rankings?
For me, I have Diggs as my wide receiver 8, and
He's my 9.
Drake London, wide receiver 14.
And he's my 15. So I have London 15. I have Diggs 9.
What's a fair price for Mike Evans? Planning on rebuild next year, and want Evans to win now.
Would say like the 108 onwards. Feels like what it would cost.
That feels like a fair price. I think if you can sell him now before any rumors or question marks about Tom Brady not returning in 2023, I think will be the best option for you.
Yeah.
Just think Watson will get suspended still. I do believe so. Whether that's 4 games or 8 games, I don't know what that looks like, but we just don't know. But I do believe he will get suspended. If he doesn't, that's surprising. And whoever drafted him at the 5 or top 5, it's a steal. Brandon and Jigbo was way better than Wilson Olave, and he will be elite. Yeah,
we'll see. I mean,
we'll definitely see.
You know what? They're planning on playing him in the slot again, and I don't think the NFL would want to see another year of him in the slot. I think the NFL would like to see him on the outside. And I would like to see him on the outside as well. So we'll see. But I did like Smith and Jigba. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for all the questions. If you have yet to drop a like, show us some love. Maybe drop a like on your way out as we end the stream. Huge love for hanging out.
Yeah,
Sorry?
We just have a Dynasty startup.
Yep.
Real Dynasty startup tomorrow with our Foxtrot League. Shout out to the Foxtrot League people if you're in here. It's all love, man. Let's edit all this stuff, rest for a little bit before the long day tomorrow.
Yes, huge day tomorrow. All right, guys. Last questions, quick fire. Is Elijah Mitchell on a 23 first enough back to sell CMC? I would say yes, but I'm selling CMC in most of my leagues. El Tigre says, I think it could be the season. 22 allegations. We'll see. Who knows? Hey, honestly, who knows?
I think it'll be crazy if they gave him this $100 million guaranteed contract, get suspended for the year, and said, you know what, that's okay.
Then they would need Baker. We'll see.
Yeah, that would suck.
All right, guys. All love. Enjoy the rest of your days. We'll see you tomorrow.
Appreciate you.